they're all not all the way over, but basically over. 2 wins for Jacob, so that's nice. Um, one of the things I want to talk about is obviously the King Dice video that was just put out. Uh, really, really interesting. Before I say anything about that, I just want to wait till more people come in here. Hopefully, I can. Dang it! It drops down to that every time. Something. Turn on my Wi-Fi. I'm wondering if any better. Rams with the cover. That's right, baby. That's a tough one to cover too. Hey, Patty. So people to get in here because I want to talk about this King Dice video that was just put out, live video. I got some things I want to say, but guys, how is the reception from me? Is it choppy? Is it choppy? Because I have it on my Wi-Fi now. Got my Wi-Fi hooked up. It's supposed to be really good. I'm just kind of curious how it is right now. Let me know, please. Hello, Larry. Skill. I really need to know, guys, if it's choppy. Blurry. Guys, believe it or not, I think the reason it's blurry is that my phone camera is just messed up. I actually think that's why it's blurry. I gotta get a new setup. I gotta get more of that done, but it's not paramount in my life because obviously I'm trying to remodel a house and stuff. So sorry about that, but I don't know when I'll be getting that done. But we'll definitely try. Okay, cool. I do have it on my Wi-Fi, so hopefully my Wi-Fi is going to work better. At least hopefully it should. So far, my computer's not pulling up the chat. My computer's actually retarded. Gotta buy a new one of those too. It says there's only 3 people in here, but I'm getting chats from a lot more than 3 people, so I'm guessing there's more than 3. But anyway, one of the things, the first thing I want to say is I am going to play some craps. I do have a $600 bankroll, so I'm going to play a little craps first, and then I'm going to talk about that video. I know that is a little bit clickbaity, but I want there to be plenty of people in here when I talk about it, and hopefully I get, another 10 or 15 people in here before I say anything about that video. All right, so I got $600. Play a little craps here. I'm gonna put $100 on the don't. I'm gonna shoot the 1, 2, 1, 3. I'm actually gonna shoot the dice like I can. We'll see how it works. Here we go. And we got a 7. That's perfect. 1, 2, 1, 3 should roll you some 7s. So that's an absolute loss. Let's go to 150. Here we go. So, I don't know if anybody has watched that video. There's an 8628, and I don't think you guys can see that, but I'm going to pull it out of that corner. Barrel roll. We can definitely do the barrel roll. 628 is our point. So when I play, this means I'm going to be on an iron cross. So let's do that. This is the way I like to play. Anyways, just so everyone knows, I did watch the King Dice video. You keep shooting the 1, 2, 1, 3. And I definitely have some opinions on it. And wow, smacked my 8. That's like the absolutely worst throw I could have done. When you should only be on the light side, right? When you're rolling like that. All right, so let's put the rest of this on the don't, just for fun. Here, this is why it's good to have a practice table you can practice all these crash and burns. You don't have to lose real money. And there's a 9, okay. The 9. We have enough to spread out here. Like this, quarter. Let's throw the quarter in the cum just for the fun. See if we can get some money back here. 8, nice. Nice. It's a $35 winner. We've only lost 400 or something. Get 35 back. That's always a good sign. Let's put that on there. Let's rack that up. All right, we're getting some people in here. 5, all right. Another $35. Big money, big money. Just joking. Not really big money. Let's pull all that down. Can't pull that 8 all the way down. Live is always better. Yes, it is always better. All right, I think there's enough people in here now. Oh, we pulled down too early. There's the 5. There's enough people in here now. 17 people in. I appreciate you guys for coming in and watching. And honestly, I hope there's another 5, 3, 2. I hope King Dice or some of his people are watching. Some of his people that watch him religiously. I hope so. Smacker 9. That is absolutely just devastating. They're shooting way too good to be on the dome. So, first thing I want to say about the videos. I did watch it all. I watched every bit of it. Shooting too good, so let's get back on the dome. Watch every bit of his video. Beginning to end. And the very first thing I want to say about all of it, about the whole, oh, and there's a 7. Absolutely crushed. We lost everything. Those $600 down the drain. Down the drain. So, first thing I want to say is bravo. Absolutely bravo. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by his video. I'm impressed by the way he went about it. I'm impressed by the things he said. I'm also impressed by what he's trying to do. So one of the things, and I love my Craps Nation people, and the thing I hate about the video is that he directly calls out some names and stuff. He didn't really have to. People knew who he was talking about. They did know who he was talking about. He didn't really have to say people's names. But I get where he's coming from on that, because I've definitely been on that side of things where people are just blasting you and you want to defend yourself. And so I'm bravo for the way he did it. Came out. I'm actually impressed. I'm actually really impressed by the way he did it. Now, I don't know about calling out people's names. I'm not really great with that. But one thing I want to say, guys, is whether you like King Dice or you don't like King Dice, no matter what, whether you do or you don't, the truth is King Dice does have a place in Vegas where you can come learn to shoot dice. Whether you can learn it from him or you learn what not to do from him, whatever you think, he has a place where you can go and play without risking money on the table. All right? When CEG and Casino Quest did this, people loved it, right? You could go there and play it. They charge you hourly, but they loved it. But when he's doing it, because of the past history with some people, it's negative, right? The other thing he said, and I totally agree with this, and I see this all day long. Hey, Chris B, how are you, man? Duracell, I see this all day long on YouTube. People want to learn how to shoot dice without paying $2,000 to do it. And I agree with him. You should not have to pay $2,000 to get some, I'll refer to it as professional. I mean, he charges people to learn to play. So it's a professional. It's a profession. He's making money teaching people how to play craps. Whether whether it's successful or not, I can't speak on it because I've never, number one, taken his class. Number two, I've never been to his school. So I can't speak on none of that. But what I can speak on is that it's real. And I know it's real because other people have been to it. And so my whole thing is if you don't believe him, if you don't believe what he's saying, if you don't like what he's saying, he came out today and gave everyone the option. He said, well, come see me at my school. I'll play against you. He said it, right? So he accepted all these challenges that everybody, including myself, including my personal self, have challenged him directly like this. He accepted them all today on video, on live video, accepted them. Said, come to his school. He'll play against you. He is touting his own people against what's referred to as the craps elite out there. He's touting his own people, which is another really great thing. When those other people did it, people accepted it. But when he's doing it, it's not being accepted for some reason. Another thing he said in the video was something that I believe wholeheartedly in, is that the craps community, and especially the YouTube craps community, needs to quit being attacked by the establishment in Vegas. And by the establishment, I'm going to call it out right now, is the other crap schools, your Golden Touch and stuff. They attack us directly, attack the strategy players, and they attack the other dice controllers. They attack it. They've said it on radio shows, and I've pointed this out to people, that they attack us directly, yet no one seems to have a problem with them. And so, again, guys, I don't believe in dice control the same as other people. I don't believe, I think, believe it or not, I actually think me and King Dice kind of believe in it very similar, because he says you should only try to dice control for 5 shots, right? You should only try to control it for 5 shots. That's what he's preaching. A short game, it's a great way to play, in my opinion. He's not telling you can beat the 7 forever, from what I've seen. All right. Now, he's also not telling you to play through the cum. He's also telling you not to play through the cum, which is also what I believe. I think playing through the cum is a silly way to play. And I've proven it on my channel repeatedly. So what I want to say, guys, is while there are definitely some things in his video that I definitely don't agree with. Calling people out by name like that and stuff. But I'm going to defend him here. On the Craps Nation Skype chat, people rag on him every day. Every day. They rag on him. Every day. And I'm going to be the first one to admit, I've been guilty of it. But in my defense, I called him on his personal phone number and talked to him about it. So, well, I honestly, if you guys don't want to like him, that's fine. If you do want to like him, that's also fine. But one thing I do know for sure is that out of all the craps people and all the craps channels out there, he's the only one with a dice school. He's the only one trying to help people. Well, all of us, Duracell, all of us got our info from other places. None of us invented this game, buddy. None of us invented dice control. Dice control's been around for a very long time. And so, yeah, did he rob it from some other people? Sure he did. Sure he did. I did too. So did everyone else that has a channel. So did Color Up. So did Rick from Let It Roll. So everyone got it from somewhere else. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is some developments people have made along the way that they've put their twists on. And so there is that stuff, right? But everyone got it from somewhere else. Some of the basics of it. Craps has been around a very long time. So, again, my personal opinion, I know I'm going to take a lot of grief for this because, guys, I love the Skype Craps chat. I love it. I love those guys in there. And, I mean, I'd do anything for them. But I also have said it on many occasions that, ragging this one guy is not benefiting the Craps community, the Craps Nation. It's not benefiting them, And now, does he do the same thing? And you're totally right about that. Hello, Fives. You're totally right about that, right? You're totally right about that, Duracell. He proclaimed when he first came out, he proclaimed that he was a bone thrower guy, that he got most of his information from bone throw. He repeated this many times when he first made videos. I mean, he repeated it over and over and over. And that's the one thing I totally agree with John. I'm talking about John from Pro Crabs here. Calling people out by name, not not the best thing. I agree with that. I do agree with that for sure. But the other thing is he's actually doing things. He did alienate the community. Yes, he did. He definitely did. And guys, I'm not defending him in that sense. He he definitely has on many occasions bashed many channels. On many occasions, he's bashed many channels. He's bashed people directly. He's done all these things. On the flip side, so have all those people done it to him. All right, they have done that to him as well. So they're not innocent. All right. Uh, so now, did they do it on YouTube? No, they did it in a Skype forum. All right. But it's full of YouTube channels. It's full of YouTubers. It's full of the people that watch YouTube channels. So here's my thing. All right. And people can like me for this, dislike me for this, whatever. And I'm not talking about you necessarily, Fives. I'm just talking about you can go through the Skype chat, and if you go through the last, even if you cut out the ones where I kind of am the bouncer, right? I really kind of am, right? I always defend, or I defend everybody. Yeah, I mean, you're right about this, Chris. I do. I come to people's defense. I do because I love our community. I love it. Love the community. And I'm not really a shooter. I'm just not good at it. No, I agree. Yeah, Fives, you keep yourself all the way out of it, and that's a very great thing you do. But and there's other guys that do, and there's guys that did it for a long time, but then eventually didn't. And so, but again, guys, what I'm saying is that like him, dislike him, whatever side you fall on there. What I'm saying is that he does have a dice school, and it is in Las Vegas, and it's a place where you can go practice without putting cash on the table. Now, I don't know what he charges you to be in there for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. I doubt you have to pay for the school to practice. He didn't seem to act like that in the video. He seemed to act like you could show up and play. So I'm sure for the training or whatever, I'm sure for the training he charges, which is rightfully so. He's got to pay for that place. Uh, but one thing I want to say about it is that he does have this place, and I didn't see anyone bashing CEG Casino Quest. I didn't see anyone bashing them for doing the same thing. Oh, you have to be a member to go play there? That's not really what he said in the video. And maybe he's changing that because of this video. I don't know. But again, I don't really know anything about it. I just know it's there. Uh, but I'm going to tell you all this. When I do go to Vegas, I'm going to it. Now, I'm not going to pay for training, but I'm definitely going to it. And I'm going to make good on the challenge that I put out to him a long time ago now that he's accepted. I, what I'm ta- I so guys, I'm gonna put it out here right here. I'm gonna put it out here right here. Those guys that were just named Dice Coach Howard Newman, Tony Leo, any of the Golden Touch guys, I love those guys. Personally, I love them. I love Tony Leo. I think Tony Leo has one of the best brains for craps there is, and the way he plays and everything, the super attacking style. Uh, I love the way he plays. Tony Leo, I patterned a bunch of what I do off of him. So I love Tony Leo. I love Howard Newman. Well, I tried to challenge him to shoot dice at a casino 2 years ago. I mean, it's been a long time, but I feel like he accepted that challenge today. my whole thing is that when Casino Quest and them are doing it, no one cares. But now he's kind of offering the same thing. Now he's teaching craps as opposed to just giving it out without paying to bet. I mean, but it seems like a very dual standard to me almost. But guys, watch the video. If you haven't seen the video, if you can do it, put aside your previous thoughts of him and just think about what he's saying. He said he wants the craps community to be good. He said he doesn't want people to have to pay thousands of dollars. He doesn't want people to have to pay thousands of dollars to learn how to play dice. And again, guys, I know you guys, most people think he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, that's right. Fair enough. I mean, they kind of did pound their chest and say, look at what we're doing. But fair enough. I understand where you're coming from. Okay. Uh, and I knew this was going to come around when I came to this defense, and I'm going to call it a defense because essentially I am defending him. Uh, my whole thing is he he's actually doing things in the craps world. He's actually doing them, not just talking about them. He's actually doing them, and so I don't have any idea what CEG charges. What I'm saying is that they charge for you to use their craps table. So if he charges you to use his craps table too, I mean, I don't. What I'm saying is I don't think there's much of a difference there. I mean, I don't know what they charge. I have no idea. I have no idea, and I like those guys. What I'm saying is that they do it, and they didn't get ragged on for it. In fact, they got promoted. Like, hey, you can go here and practice. Look how great it is. All right. I mean, guys, some of the dice controllers, VDC. I think VDC is great. He's one of my favorite guys that I've talked to. I brought him on my sports thing. I mean, the dude is great, and he's on my website. You can go through my website and learn dice control from him. Yeah, I see, guys, and I don't know. I have no idea what he teaches, what he charges. I have no idea about any of that. Yes, he is the guy I had the argument with. He is the same guy. Yes, he is absolutely the same guy. It was live on my channel. Actually, a lot of people heard it. I mean, you couldn't see it because he was talking to me through my phone. Uh, but all I'm saying is that they have a craps table you can use for a price that doesn't cost you bets. And that's what I'm inferring is that when he talked about it on his video today, he at the end of the video, he basically said, you can come there and practice. He basically said that. Do I feel that former dealers know more about the game than a non-dealer? I would say the average, yes. Overall, yes, they would know more about the game. But I also think dealers are skewed by house edge. They think the only way to play is house edge based. So there is that skew as well. But again, guys, and I know a lot of people. He's abrasive, right? Or at least he was early on. I haven't watched none of his stuff in a very long time until this video. He can be very abrasive. He's been very abrasive. I mean, he literally told me to F off on his channel live. So I mean, yeah, the CEG guys are great. Yes, Greg is absolutely the most consistent dice shooter I've ever seen. Absolutely the most consistent. He can throw a 7 literally every 3 rolls.
Hi, guys.
That's my son, Justice. Right. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to put my opinion out there. And I'll tell y'all why I want to put my opinion out there. Because comment after comment, email after email, for some reason, you guys think my opinion matters. So I appreciate that you guys think my opinion matters, because 4,000 people seem to like it, and there's 3 people in my house that don't care about it. So, uh, and he does rub people the wrong way, and I totally agree with that. But what I do think is great that he's doing is that he is trying to be outside the box. He's not trying to join in with one of the groups. He's trying to do his own thing. He's got his own craps tables, his own place, whatever he charges. I have no idea. I don't have any idea about the particulars of it. What I do know is that he is doing it. And so that's a big difference. That's a big difference. He has a specific location in Vegas. So, and that's my opinion. Believe it or not, I applaud him for the video he made. Outside of the calling out people by name like that, but I get why he did that too. I know why he did that, because he's taken a bunch of crap from them, and rightfully so in instances for sure. And some of it was not right. It was really unwarranted, but a lot of it was warranted. Uh, but I mean, he defended himself. I've defended myself on many occasions on my own channel. All right, had to defend myself because I felt like someone was interfering on my brand, and I'm sure that's the way he feels. All right, uh, but he his last one I used to watch him. So guys, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this also. So this is what I want to say. Okay, is that when King Dice first came out, when he's wearing the mask, I was glad he took the mask off because I thought that was kind of silly. But all he was doing is he was shooting live. they, but anyway, I appreciate it. But he was shooting live, and he was just talking about it, and he was trying to show people. Essentially, he was trying to show people what Bone Thrower does. That's what he was essentially trying to show people. I do remember the mask, and I thought the mask was silly. That was very silly. Uh, but he took it off, and then him and his wife would be on there. And okay, so he did lose the color up. I mean, and there's no doubt about it. We all saw all this stuff, right? And but let me tell y'all something else, right? And see, guys, I don't actually know what his new content is, right? I haven't watched any of it. I haven't watched it, so I don't know what it is. I just know this one because someone told me, hey, he's bashing the Craps Nation people, and so I was curious. So I watched it. I wanted to see what he had to say. But anyway, so personally, I think he was defending himself, and he accepted the people's challenge. That's true because uh, yeah. I mean, he obviously should worry more about his own stuff, and I do. I'm guilty of the same thing, guys. I don't like it at all when someone attacks me. I defend myself, and I will defend myself all the way to the end of it. I mean, so, but I don't think. Yes, it's the most recent. It was just made today. He was just live about an hour ago. I don't think he was fully in the wrong for the video. Now I do think calling out people by name was wrong, and I'll keep saying that because I do think that was wrong. And he was talking about probably me, probably a bunch of my friends, and I mean that is what that is because my friends have talked about him. I've talked about him, so he was defending himself. But I'm gonna when I go there. That's true. I'm gonna when I go to Vegas, I'm gonna go find him, and I don't want to learn or anything, but I'm gonna challenge him to a shoot off, and we can do it at the casino. We can do it at his place. I don't care. Because guys, just because I don't teach dice control and stuff, I do think I'm a pretty good shooter. I agree. I think when he was just normal, I think he was better. I totally agree about that. That's true. I appreciate it. But guys, these are just my opinions, all right? And he's guys, he's trying to run a business. He is trying to run a business. So whether you think it's real or not real, I mean, I used to feel that way. Believe it or not, Fives, I used to feel that way until this video. This video made me not feel that way. This video made me feel exactly how I've felt in the past when people were attacking me on here. And it made me feel exactly that way. And so I totally understand where he's coming from. When he's trying to do something and all he's doing is getting attacked for it. Now, is it warranted? Sometimes, yes, because he's caused a bunch of it, right? By being abrasive, by doing those things, by not trying to be a part of the community. All right. But in the other sense, he's doing his own thing. I mean, I'm not going to knock him for doing his own thing. But I'm hoping what happens is he watches this or someone that watches his channel watches this and reports it back to him, which is great. I appreciate that, Anthony. And I've heard that a lot, and I really appreciate that people like my delivery. They like what I do. Uh, but what I agree, skill. I do think we need to come together. And here's the thing, guys: is we have a lot of dice controllers in the craps community. Guys that want to be good at controlling the dice. Whether you believe he can teach you it or not, wouldn't it be nice to have a place in Vegas to go practice? Maybe it's hey, you pay him 25 bucks to go get some shots in before you go to the casino, right? Maybe that's that case. Maybe it isn't, he doesn't necessarily have to teach everybody, right? That's for who wants it. But it is nice that he has some tables there, right? I mean, to me, that's an amazing thing that there's tables you can play on without betting to get some time in. But again, like I said, when I go, I'm going to go to him. I'm going to find him, and hopefully he's going to be there. And I'm gonna, yeah, I want to put it on video and everything. And guys, if I lose, I'm going to give him all of his props in the world. But guys, I can shoot a little bit, all right. And anyone who's played with me knows this that I can shoot a little bit, all right. Uh, I don't. I don't claim to do it, right? Because I don't think I'm good at it, but in reality, I am kind of good at it when it comes. He might. He might let me record. In reality, when it comes to shooting, I'm okay at it, right? I can average 8, 9 pretty consistently. Uh, Now, do I think it helps me win money? I don't. That's why I don't really care about it very much. Uh, but I've definitely live playing with people. They've seen me shoot some hell of a shots, hella shots, big shots, live playing with people that are subscribers on here. My buddy, I actually made some videos on his strategy a couple years ago, the Arkansas guy strategy, and actually other people took it up and made some other videos on it and stuff. And he, he saw me roll a 30 roller and win a bunch of money. I mean, guys in Colorado saw me. I hit the ATS one time, hit the 2 and the 12 back to back, and tried to do it. Right? I mean, does that mean it's why it happened? No, but I was actually trying to do it. But that was before he accepted it, right? Isn't it smart? Because he just accepted everybody's challenge today. There you go, Anthony. He accepted. I saw it live. He accepted everyone's challenge. So, so by the way, speaking of bookcase, uh, a guy, and I'm not going to call him out by name because I just ragged on that, but a guy in his chat today mentioned something about shooting into a bookcase. I'm guessing he was talking about me. I don't know anyone else that does it, so I think it was me. But I mean, I don't claim to be a dice controller, so why does it matter where I roll the dice? I mean, I randomly throw them against the rubber. So what does it matter? Uh, I mean, who cares what I shoot into? I mean, I could be rolling them in a cup. I mean, I'm just trying to make random rolls. But anyways, I just thought that was weird that the bookcase got brought up of all the things, right? Of all the things you could bring up about me. Why would you bring up the bookcase? And you might be right, Slam. You might be right. But it wasn't him talking about it. It was one of the commenters. Hey, there's Vince. Vince was in there. I love Vince. So Vince, me and you used to communicate a lot, uh, but I went under Blue Collar Sports then. We used to communicate a lot. This was a couple years ago, but we used to communicate quite a bit, Vince. But that's all I'm saying, guys. And I'm not going. I'm not in it negatively. I'm excited to go play. I'm excited to go play against him with him. Don't tell people that, Vince. Don't tell people that because that name is attached to you, and I like that that name is attached to you because the way you do it is your own style. I love that you have the hedge to invest as your style. When you develop that part of it. Mine is a little different, but yes, we talked about that together. I'm not going to say you learned it from me. We talked about it together. But no, again, guys, I just want to put my opinion out there. And again, it's a little ego thing for me because I know people in this community they care about my opinion. I've had people tell me that before too. So my buddy Morton Lobin, I don't know if you guys have ever got to play with Morton Lobin. If you ever do, if you're ever in Colorado and you get to play with a guy named Morton Lobin, he'll be at the Monarch at like 3 in the morning. Go play with him. He's crazy. He's hilarious. And but we'd be talking bad to each other the whole day. But he's a great dude. Great dude. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna say something about the color up video, guys. Okay. Now, two things. Number one, for what he was promoting, he should have beat Killer Up. He should have done. I mean, what he was promoting, he should have beat him, right? Now, on the flip side of it, what he teaches, from what I understand, is a 5 shot and down thing. So, how many times did he make it to 5 shots? I don't remember the video very well. I did watch it with Color Up, but how many times did he make it to 5 shots? Because that's actually what he teaches, from what I understand, is like a 5 shot and down thing. Betting more money on the numbers you hit more often is kind of what he does, from what I understand. I don't know this stuff either, guys. This is what I've heard. Okay, so that he failed on the 5 shot and down thing, because that's a big deal for dice controllers, guys. They should play on a 5 shot and down style. I mean, no matter who they are, they should, because thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all that. I appreciate when people send me the emails about how they won money. I even appreciate it when they tell me how they lost their ass and that I taught them some crap. Yeah, I've been there, Waylon. I've been there. But again, guys, but again, and then I knew this would be very polarized, right? And I think people thought I was going to come in here with different content than I am. But again, I'm like I said, I'm applauding King Dice for the video. Outside of the one thing, and that's calling people by name. I don't like that. If you're a YouTube content creator, you're accepting getting called out by name. All right. So if you're a content creator, then you're accepting that people are going to call you out by name. But if you are not a content creator, people shouldn't call you out by name. And that was done. So uh, when you create content and you put yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there for the ridicule as well. So I don't think the shooters are any better necessarily, but I do think you should play as much money as you can per bet. And the reason is because you should want to hit as few bets as you can to get out of the game. And that's so yes, I think you should play as whatever you're comfortable with playing the largest amount. Because from a dice control standpoint, a lot of people like to start at the bottom and press up, right? When they like to start at the bottom, press up. Well, what happens a lot is you only get to that like fourth roll, so you're never making money. If you'd have started higher, you don't have to press as hard. That's true. That is true. That definitely happens. Slambright is not lying. Slambright is telling the truth. Right there, he's not lying. That actually 100% happened. We were at the tables at the aisle, and the dealers did make fun of him. Absolutely. I've actually heard the same thing at another casino there, where dealers made fun of him. I'm not going to. And the reason I'm not going to is because he is accomplishing something. Remember, those guys were dealing his money. Remember that now. So when you're thinking about those things, that was his money on the table that they were just moving around for him. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised about that Duracell because it's very similar, right? Heavy has had that out for a very long time, that style. Heavy's great, by the way. Anyone that doesn't know Heavy is fantastic. Uh, he has had that style out for, I don't know, forever, right? It's been forever. So definitely, so there's definitely could be some copyright stuff there. I don't have any idea what happened there, but definitely could be. But by the way, guys, Heavy is awesome. If you don't know who Heavy is, go find out who Heavy is. He's awesome. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, the time that he told me to F off on his video was because I called him a con artist in the comments. I called him a con artist, and then he called me on it, and I said, yeah, that's what I said. And so then he started telling me to F off, and then they booted me. They booted me out of the chat. And then he called me when I went live. So that's how that whole situation went. If some people remember it, some people were in both chats. And some people were in both chats, but again, I don't hold none of that against him. And guys, he literally came out and said he didn't hold anything against anybody. And I like that. I like that comment that he said, where he's like, hey, I don't hold nothing against anybody. This is me defending myself. And what I'm hoping is that from here, I'm hoping that he distances himself from all this from here, and he just tries to do his dice school and all that, right? And he quits with the back and forth. If he does that, that's very commendable. It's very respectable. He defended himself. He said he'll accept anybody's challenge. If he does that from here and he just does his own thing, that's commendable to me. If he keeps back and forth, I don't know how great that is. And guys, I knew some people wouldn't agree with me on this for sure, and that's fine. But from my personal specs, from my personal experiences, going through this YouTube journey and having people blast me repeatedly, every time I come out with something different than what the established is. When I came out, my first stuff when I came out was about how House Edge doesn't matter. Man, I took so many beatings from commenters about how house edge doesn't matter, and I would repeatedly show it on video, and I would prove it on video, and I would take beating after beating after beating, email after email. I agree with that, Duracell. I totally agree with that. He should give people credit, because that's one of my big things. I like when people give people credit. But yeah, again, because that's just my personal stuff, right? This is the way I feel about this. If you don't feel this way about this, that's fine, and you have total rights to however you feel. For example, the couple guys he called out by name, if they're absolutely pissed off about this, they totally deserve it. They totally deserve to be pissed off. They totally deserve to be mad. And they're two friends of mine through, one of them I know personally, he's a good friend of mine. And the other one is a guy that's a regular, absolute regular in the craps chat. And a guy plays a lot of craps. And thank you. But yeah, yeah, this is really, I'm really going to be kind of done about that part of this. We can talk about anything else, or we can keep talking about this, I guess. But I don't know. I said my piece on it. I said how I feel about it, because I know there's going to be some other guys come out and talk about, how about them Rams? That's right. Rams are still my Super Bowl pick, guys. Still my Super Bowl pick. I think they're putting it all together. Guys, remember the Rams? They had a pretty tough schedule, right? They had a pretty tough schedule. So losing some games is not unusual, right? I mean, look at the teams that have got beat. Jacksonville beat Buffalo and stuff. I mean, thank you, Mr. Vince. Thank you. But yeah, guys, craps is craps, you know? $50 don't pass. Freaking Seahawks. The Seahawks, they're not very talented, and that's one of their big problems, is that they're just not very talented. Yeah, I love this play. This is one of my favorite plays ever in craps, right here. This 50 and 60 there. 50 and 60 there. Why is this one of my favorite plays? Because because if you hit one win, and as long as you don't hit your point, you're doing pretty good, right? I would say Russell's probably down in Seattle. He'll probably be a Bronco. All right, so we got 5. So right here, this is why this play is really great, right? You don't roll the 5, obviously. The 5 is the only thing that can hurt you here. In the 7, you lose $10. The 7, you can lose, you can lose $10, but if you hit 1, 6, and 8, man, just one, it's just such a powerful play, right? There's 11 and a 12. ATS guys are happy. 10, now they're really happy. All you need in that 9, 8. Okay, so guys, let me ask you a question right here, okay? So you're on the ATS, right? You just hit the 12, the 11, and the 10. All you have is the 8 and the 9. How many of you guys lay that right now? Do you lay both numbers? How many of you guys do that? We'll lay both numbers right now for min lay, just to cover what your ATS bet is, because it's the right play. Let me assure you, it's the right play. So you just rolled the 12, the 11, and the 10. You have the 5 too, but it doesn't really matter for this. So let's say you're on the tall for $5, right? You're on the tall for $5. All right, so some places 30 or 34. We'll go with the 30. That's a $150 possible win off of $5 if you hit a 9 and an 8. All right, so you've rolled 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? So most likely you're only going to roll between 1 and 4 more times, most likely. The right play here, guys, is to lay both numbers. And I know people are going to argue with this on me, but since you can do it in both cases for $30, you have a chance to win 150. Let's move this. Say we move this over here. So right here, you win 25. If 7 rolls there, you win 20 there. All right? Obviously, you'll get that. So when you roll, let's say we roll one of these. So let's see what happens. All right. 9. Perfect. Oh, this is working perfect. So it's went like 12, 11, 10, 9. Boom, we lost this, right? $30 down out of that 150. Now think about that. Think about that out of that 150. You just lost 30, all right? But now you're down to one number. Now you can't lose. So for that one roll, you gave yourself a chance to win a little more on the 7. You protected yourself a little better. So let's say you add a little more to cover that 30. All right? You got 150, right? Covering it. You could go even higher. You could go to the 90. And so down to 2 numbers is actually, in my opinion, the correct way to do it. If you're not, if you're going to wait to one number, you're not going to get it there as soon as often, right? So let's see if we can hit the 8. Yo, 11. But it's just not going to get to one number as often. And there's the 7. So we would have won on our lay if we would have been playing ATS and all that good stuff. So it's actually the correct play. Believe it or not, it's actually the correct play. All right, so we're going to 100. Let's see what happens. 5, right back on the 5. Let's do $30.60. I know I don't have a real bankroll out there. Well, if you roll the 8, you'll win the ATS, so you'd win the 150. I've never been to Biloxi, but I have a lot of intentions of going there. One of my YouTube friends, Bogies, he's a big-time Biloxi guy. All right, so we won there. Let's see. Let's just keep stacking it. See how far we can go. 8. All right, so now we don't have a 6 and 8 to do, but we have a ton of money out there on the don't. Let's go like this. And we have a 4 to do. 2-2 like a ballerina. Oh, we got beat up. Got our face beat in. On the 8. Anyways. It did hurt me, yes. It did hurt me. But guys, in all my practice, and I've went through that a lot, it's actually best to start laying when you're down to 2 box numbers as opposed to 1. You actually come out ahead in the long run because of the 7 action. You're getting more money on the 7. But yeah, I need to go down there when a bunch of you guys are there. It's not that far from me. It's only like 8 hours from where I'm at. So I definitely need to go down there and meet up with a bunch of you guys. I haven't done that. That's one of the things I haven't done enough of, actually, is meet up with subscribers and meet up with, I hate to call them subscribers. You guys are just craps players, just like me. I mean, friends, meet up with you guys. So okay, so I'm very partial to the 4 and 10 don'ts, right? Everyone that knows my stuff knows I love having a 4 and 10. So let's say you have 100 there. Okay, so you have, someone asked this question just right as I'm doing it. So let's say I have whatever, the 600 more, right? So had 700 total, and boom, you get that 4. All right. You get this, in my opinion, there's one of 2 ways to play it. All right. Either you use this as a cover bet and try to win money here. Either you use this as a cover bet and you try to win money there, or you don't do anything but play that 4 and you stack money up on it. So I think it's a dual option play, and it's only on the 4 and 10. And the reason being is because I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, John. The reason being is because you're a 2-1 favorite here, right? After taking down, if I didn't already have a don't, I would try to get a don't. And I would probably go into like a come progression, hop sevens, come progression thing, if I had already made that to that point. That was a question. Sorry, I'm trying to answer too many questions at once. But so I feel like there's 2 ways to play it, right? If you have the $100 don't and it's on the 4 to the 10, you either lay big odds on it and go for it and just hopefully it rolls a 7, or you go the other way and you pick up all the other numbers, put a little bit of odds on it to cover it, and you go that way, right? I feel like that's the 4 and the 10 offer you both of these options, and they're both good, right? Because this option, obviously, you could roll 7 or 8 of those numbers before you roll a 7. I mean, it easily happens, right? And you could hit a bunch of those numbers, press up, make a bunch of money, and still have this covering you, all right? This way, as long as you don't re-roll the 4, you just got a 2-1 favorite the whole time. So neither option is bad, in my opinion. They're both good. It's kind of a preference thing. So in my opinion, it's more of a preference type of play. Sure, absolutely, Vince. Yeah, you're putting yourself in a very good spot right there. A very good spot right there, Vince. But so I feel like either side you put yourself on there, you're doing great. No vig on the odds. No vigorish on the odds. That's the only advantage to the odds, in my opinion. The rest of the stuff, I mean, on the light side odds are the ones that are the worst to me, in my opinion. Because light side odds, okay, so this is how light side odds, in my opinion, work. So you got a $10 bet, table minimum 10. You roll a 6. Now you're going to go and put $50 in odds behind it to roll the 6 you just rolled. All right, it's hard to re-roll numbers, very hard. There's a lot of math that you can go look at that says it's very difficult to re-roll a number. Right? Points don't get hit all that often. Not as much as people think. And now you've just added money to it. To me, this money is better served here and here. You're gaining more combinations to win with the same risk. Now, I don't think the odds, I don't think it's worth it. I think you can gain so much more off that same risk. But anyways, so that's true. What skill set? Skill's very wise. But yeah, I'm glad it seems like my Wi-Fi is doing better, right? Seems like it's actually doing pretty well. So that's really good. It's a good thing. All right, so that's true. You can ladder the 4 and 10 way up. One of the best nights I ever saw at the Monarch in Blackhawk was a guy got on a roll, and I don't know how many 4s he hit in this roll. Now there was 7s in the roll too, because he kept hitting the point of 4, and he would hit the point of 4, maybe roll a 7, then roll another 4, and it'd be a point. But he just kept hitting it, and but anyway, so I'll get your question in a second about the NFC. So again, he just kept hitting those numbers, bam, boom, boom. It was just amazing to me. It was crazy. In my opinion, I do think the pass line is better to play bigger in the beginning, and I'll explain to you why. you have a 22% chance to win that bet on that roll. There's a 22% chance you win it. That's a lot. That's a quarter of the game that you win. That was really good. You're going to get a number, play it as a flat bet. It's fine. I'm not the best one to describe the ladder stuff. I'll be honest. You can ask some of the guys in here. There's actually been a lot of videos made on laddering bets. Uncle Angelo does some of them. But there's some really good ones out there. My old buddy Press, he does some ladder videos. I'm not the best one to ask about laddering, so I'm not going to speak on it. But as far as the NFC goes, in my opinion, the two teams in the NFC that I think are going to win the Super Bowl, one of the two, one of them is not named the Green Bay Packers, and the other one is not named the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think it's going to be either the Dallas Cowboys or the Rams. Let me explain why. The Buccaneers are far too injured. They're way too beat up. I'm not taking anything away from Brady, but last year going into this spot, he had all of his pieces going into the playoffs. Right now, they are just demolished by injuries. Just absolutely demolished. And Green Bay, guys, Green Bay is a very fishy, has a very fishy record. Very fishy record. So if you look at a lot of their games, they had a lot of losses on their schedule. They ended up with a win. Cincinnati game, they missed all those field goals with Cincinnati. Could have lost that game. Washington played them, got stopped on the 1 yard line twice. Green Bay has a very fishy record. They got 2 Detroit games. They got but so in my opinion, the way the Dallas Cowboys defense is playing, if the offense can just get back on track, they're probably the most overall talented. But the Rams have a couple things going for them. Number one, their defense is super talented. Number two, their offense is very explosive with probably the best receiver in the NFL this year on it. This year, not overall, just this year. And they have one of the most innovative coaches, right? So I feel like that it's in place for those two teams to win more so, even if Green Bay gets home field advantage. And guys, I want to explain something to you. I don't know if you guys know, but Aaron Rodgers has lost 4 NFC title games in a row. 4 in a row. That puts him in some rare company, right? To lose 4 title games in a row of any kind. Does that mean he breaks through this year? Possibly. But again, I put my money, if you're going to bet on a Super Bowl now, I would say Dallas Cowboys, Rams. My opinion. Now, let me explain something to you. If you like either of those two teams, right? If you whatever team you like going into the playoffs, bet them through the playoffs on the money line and keep stacking your money. You'll get more than your odds. So you'll get more than your odds if you just stack money lines. Because most of the time, if you're looking for a bigger odds bet on an underdog, they're going to be the underdog in these games. So you're going to get plus money on them each time. Yes, the Rams are LA. Yes. And so it's actually better to bet them each game individually as opposed to one bet now and get 6-1. And if you're just going to stack the money on top of each other, right? So let's say they're a 150 plus 150. So you're going to get 1.5. And then the next game, they're probably a 130 and you're going to get that again. And then the last game, you're going to get it again. So it actually works out to more cumulatively than it does if you just bet the one time. Now, it doesn't work that way with the favorite. So the favorite's a little different. If you like the favorite, you might as well bet them now. But anyways, that's a football question. The only problem is the numbers it loses on. Guys, I never worry about that. I never worry about rolling come out losers. I just don't. If you're going to play the don't and you're worried about the come out loser, why are you playing the don't? But anyways, appreciate your guys' time. Yeah, the Matrix. Yeah, cool. I'm a Matrix fan as well. I like the Matrix. Thank you guys for your time, but I got to go to work tomorrow, so I'm going to go to bed. Anyways, I just wanted to put it out there. I want to put my opinion out there on the stuff tonight. And yeah, it was good talk with y'all. And, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure you will. So appreciate it. You guys have a great night.